Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And today, not a bad one out there today. We started off with lots of sunshine this morning and a mix of clouds and sun throughout our afternoon hours. This looking at Highway 97A in the Lake Chelan area. It's around Stamen Flats from our Sky-Fi tower camera up that way. And you can see some clouds out there, but temperatures did warm up nicely today into the mid and upper 60s. And it looks like that will be our trend with maybe even a little more sunshine and a little warmer temperatures as we move through into the middle and the end of next week, or this week I should say. We'll talk much more about weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Washington State Patrol reports a Colville tribal police officer was injured after crashing his patrol SUV into another vehicle in Omak on Saturday. The Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife has canceled all summer salmon fishing seasons for the entire Columbia River. And a Kashmir insect breeder is this year's Flywheel Investment Conference winner. But first, we begin tonight. Chelan Fire District 5 firefighters had an odd and challenging fire to fight late Friday and early Saturday when cattails caught fire on the north end of Wapato Lake. Fire Chief Arnold Baker said it took some work to get access to that fire site.
We were toned out about quarter till 9 on Friday evening to a fire unknown out on the north end of Wapato Lake. On arriving, we saw that it was fire in the reeds and cattails out on the water, and it was also moving in towards Kamiah Resort. There were 3 camp trailers unoccupied, but just on the north end of their campsite, and so they quickly moved those to get them out of the way. And so then we were left with a fire out on the water, which made access extremely difficult out on the reeds. And so we spent the evening kind of watching it and putting our efforts into finding the best place to catch it where the reeds were close enough to shore that we could be successful and make a stand. And so there's a little pond on the north end of Wapato Lake, so it got all the way around that in that perimeter. And on the north shore, we had about a half a mile of shoreline of Wapato Lake that the reeds, we waited for that so we could get to a spot where we could make a defense and stop the fire.
Baker said the cause of the fire remains under investigation. Washington State Patrol reports a Colville tribal police officer was injured after crashing his patrol SUV into another vehicle in Omak on Saturday. State troopers say Officer Mackenzie Schaefer was northbound on Highway 97 responding to a service call mid-morning. His vehicle's siren and emergency lights were activated when he slowed down while attempting to enter Eng Road on a red light. Schaefer's vehicle struck a vehicle driving westbound on Eng Road by a 21-year-old Omak woman. She was not injured, but Officer Schaefer was transported to Mid-Valley Hospital for treatment of unspecified injuries. The intersection was closed for 3.5 hours during that investigation. Troopers say the tribal officer caused the crash after failing to yield to the other vehicle. No charges were filed. Well, it's going to be a strange summer along the entire Columbia River. The Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife has canceled all summer salmon fishing seasons for the entire river. Fish and Wildlife Commissioner Dave Grable says, unfortunately, this came as no surprise.
We're still suffering from the blob and drought conditions in 2015. We hope that we're seeing the bottom of this ecological event, and that in 2020 we'll see a recovery of our Chinook runs in particular. I want to remind people, though, that last year, although the lower river was closed, we tracked the amount of fish that went over Priest Rapids Dam and found that we had enough for escapement needs and reopened the river at Chelan Falls, the Idiot River, wells, and the Brewster Pool in time for the Derby. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we will watch carefully the escapement over Priest Rapids Dam to determine if we'll have salmon fishing for summer runs in our region.
Grable says the Upper Columbia could benefit from efforts underway to save the killer whales in Puget Sound.
Actually, there's going to be some benefits to anglers even here on the Columbia River with the efforts to save those whales. The benefit is going to be increased production of a lot of species. And we're working through the infrastructure, what's available to raise more fish and release more fish. And so one of the spin-offs that we're going to even enjoy here on the Columbia River is the increased production of salmon to offset the losses of pinnipeds, sea lions, fur seals in the Sound, and just getting more fish in the water that those orca whales can feed upon.
If salmon returns appear higher than anticipated over Priest Rapids Dam, Grable says they could have spot openings on the Upper Columbia River near Eniat, Chelan Falls, and Brewster. Well, a cashmere insect breeder is this year's Flywheel Investment Conference winner. Beta Hatch walked away from last week's event with a $135,000 grant. A second startup company, Prescriptive Health, received $50,000 in the Shark Tank modeled event that's hosted by Guada. Beta Hatch industrializes insect production for animal feed. The company is gearing up to build its first commercial scale facility at the Old Kashmir treetop fruit processing plant, where they'll use heat from a data center to fuel their insect production. Prescriptive Health is a healthcare technology company that uses blockchain technology to help employers and consumers take control of prescription drug costs. Coming up next, a prescribed burn in the Lake Chelan area kicked up a lot of smoke earlier today. The Central Washington Wildfire Co-op also conducted controlled burns over the weekend, and Chelan County Volunteer Search and Rescue took to the hills Saturday to practice some of their rescue techniques. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back. In other news, there were some panicked folks in the Chelan area today who reported seeing a forest fire on the hillside west of the Navarre-Cooley Highway. No need for panic, says Robin DeMario of the Wenatchee-Okanagan National Forest. It was a prescribed burn.
In the Chelan area, we have a prescribed burn or control burn, and we anticipate to burn about 72 acres, and that's about 11 miles west of Chelan. Folks may see some smoke, and it's anticipated that that smoke will disperse to the northeast throughout the day. So if you do see that smoke, at least from that general vicinity, that is a prescribed burn. And on many of our Ranger District units, as the weather dries out and as conditions improve for us to do these prescribed or controlled burns during the spring, forest visitors, recreationists, and other folks may see smoke coming from the National Forest in our efforts to restore and improve the habitat in these burn areas that we've got planned to occur this spring.
DeMario says anyone who wants to know about the spring burning schedule on the forest can find it on the Forest Service Facebook page or on Twitter. Well, you might have seen some firefighters conducting a controlled burn in the Eniat area over the weekend. It was on Saturday afternoon. They were getting ready for the upcoming wildfire season with a drill at the Columbia Breaks Wildfire Interpretive Center. It was part of a day-long event that also involved training for new recruits. The training included practicing deploying emergency shelters that are used in the event crews become trapped in a firestorm. Saturday's event was hosted by the Central Washington Wildfire Cooperators Group, which is comprised of multiple local, state, and federal agencies. They met at the Eniat Fire Station for a morning planning session. The purpose of the meeting was to strengthen partnerships and collaboration between DNR, the United States Forest Service, Chelan and Douglas County rural fire districts as well. Nolan Brewer with the DNR says it started after the 2015 fire season.
At the end of the day, fire doesn't know any boundaries, any jurisdictional boundaries, and we all end up together midsummer, so really to get some of that out of the way early, some of that relationship building, the group decided this was a really good thing to bring together every spring and make sure we're addressing some of these issues, we're meeting those new faces, and really set us off on the right foot to start the 2019 fire season.
Eniat Fire Chief Mike Asher also commented on how the various fire agencies have developed better and more effective partnerships over the course of his 30-year career.
I can remember back prior to 1988 when everybody did their own thing. The state did their thing, Forest Service did their thing, fire departments didn't interact with them. Everybody was independent. And those times, thankfully, are gone, and there's been a whole lot of change since that time.
Chief Asher says he's also grateful for the greater role the U.S. Forest Service has played in helping to educate property owners about fire-wise planning and making homes and communities more resistant to catastrophic wildfires. Chelan County Volunteer Search and Rescue took to the hills Saturday to practice some of their rescue techniques. New and seasoned volunteers spent most of the morning and afternoon near the Saddle Rock Trailhead in Wenatchee for training that included mock evidence and searches, litter handling, radio communications, and wilderness navigation using compasses and GPS devices. The training also included Chelan County emergency management officials and dog teams. Based in Wenatchee, Chelan County Volunteer Search and Rescue responds to dozens of missing and injured person calls in backcountry and recreation areas in our region. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Moving doesn't have to be back-breaking, stressful work. And I don't want you to make a move that way ever again.
Traditionally, you would rent a truck. You would load up your stuff. You would rent a storage unit. You would transport it. And finally, you would unload your stuff yourself. You don't have to lift a finger. We bring the mobile storage unit to you, we drop it off, then one of our trusted packers can load it for you. We come pick it up and store it securely for you. We bring it back to you. No hassle, no stress.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, many area communities celebrated Earth Day over the weekend. From crushing glass to solar-baked cookies, the Chelan Earth Day Fair has grown over the last 30 years and continues to educate and entertain at Riverwalk Park every spring. This year, 95 tents brought locals together for crafts, homemade products, and more. Chelan locals Ann and Randy Brooks with Plug In North Central Washington tell us the annual event, what it means to them.
It's a really fun family event. Come out and see things and do things and have fun. That's what it's all about.
We have a kid area and then a variety of music. We'll have the local Chelan dance group come in this afternoon, which really draws a lot of people, which is fun. It is fair. It was started in 1989 by Scott Beaton, B. Murphy, some of the real locals that actually started our recycle center too. So that was really neat, very cooperative effort at that time. And this is our 18th year, and we had our renewable energy business here for years and just kept going because it's just a passion of ours to educate others to be able to take care of our earth. What are things that we can do?
One of the things that I recently heard that was interesting, we've all heard of the reduce, reuse, recycle talk. Now there's another word in front. Refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle. Refuse to buy products that have unrecyclable containers that are a single use. Just say, no, I'm not going to do that. And, get vendors to come around to the fact that we don't want that stuff.
Our buying power and our decisions to reduce this. We have to. The Earth Day Fair, when it started, was kind of a flea market, and they encourage flea market, garage sale kind of things, which is good. It's reusing. But it goes beyond that and educating people. What can we do daily? Like not using the garbage. Take your own coffee cup. Those little things will make a big difference. So that I think we do that. We still are having great entertainment, lots of fun. We do have some garage sale kind of things, upscaling, different things that people are doing. Repurposing, yeah. So all those kinds of things, and it's a fun, fair day, but a lot of education too, and what we can do ourselves to make a difference.
I think Earth Day participants, attendees, have always had an interest, but I think more and more, more of the majority are interested, and there's fewer naysayers about whatever you're talking about. But yeah, I think it is just more people are aware and want to do something and are willing to make a change to do something.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those details, let's take a peek outside our weather window from the Stamen Flats area around Lake Chelan. Of course, thanks to our Sky-Fi Tower camera for providing this beautiful shot down at the Columbia River, Highway 97A, and some mid and high level clouds out there today, but still not a bad day for our, I guess you can call it still early spring day here in North Central Washington. High temperature today unofficially 69 degrees, and that's above 64 where we should be for this time of year. Pretty much right in the ballpark as far as our low temperature this morning at 44 degrees. Record high 82 in 2012, record low 30 degrees, and that was back in 2008. Sunrise now is at 6 a.m. straight up, and sunset tonight straight up at 8 o'clock. Let's put that surface loop in motion now and show you what we can expect tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. We could see some breezy conditions as well. Keep in mind when these isobars or lines of barometric pressure structure get tightly packed together, that's when we usually see some windy conditions. So breezy tonight, more packed together for Tuesday. So we will see west winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. That'll be a steady wind tomorrow with gusts possibly around 26 miles an hour. But as you can see, half the state with clouds, the other half not, and that will change on Wednesday to almost all of us seeing bright, beautiful sunshine. Not as much wind either. A light breeze for Wednesday, folks. It's just going to be a beautiful midweek day with temperatures in the lower 70s. Thursday, once again, a nice one. Mostly sunny and mild. Almost all of at least the eastern 2/3 of Washington will see clear skies. A few clouds wisping into the western part of the state. For Friday, another nice one, but once again, some breezy conditions. Mostly sunny, windy, especially late in the day into our early evening hours on Friday. Temperatures will remain around 70 degrees. And by the time we hit the weekend, we will see some cooler air. You can see the arrows in the wind funneling in from the northwest. That will usher in some cooler air both Saturday and into Sunday. All in all, though, it's not really going to be bad. We're talking mostly sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures back to where we should see them for this time of year in the lower to mid 60s. Here's a look at quick lube and tune forecast. 52 tonight for an overnight low. 70 tomorrow with some wind, as we mentioned. 71 for Wednesday, and we're going to stay warm right through to Friday with mostly sunny skies and then some cooler temperatures by the weekend. 65 on Saturday and 61 on Sunday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
I'm working today.
I've got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
And now, it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a good Monday to you. The Wenatchee Panthers and Eastmont Wildcats played another classic in the series of soccer matches between the two schools Friday night. Wenatchee coming out on top in overtime 1-0. Panthers dominated play for most of the first half with the ball mostly in Eastmont's end of the field, but the game would end scoreless, head into a 5-minute sudden death overtime. That's when Wenatchee found Jose Camarillo for the header and completed the Panthers' season sweep of their Cross River rivals. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen had the call on the NCWLIFE channel.
Delivery doesn't work. Camarillo, shot across. Camarillo, personal maneuver instead. There it is, the shot and the stop by Mr. Gregerson. There's the shot, far post, looking for Holland or perhaps Lopez. It's Lopez, swinging left foot. Wisen the shot and the stop by Gregerson. Let's see who's going to try again. Cleared away by Mendoza. They're still trying, and there's Gregerson to put a stop to the danger. Throw in, into the box it goes. Bit of a mixer there. Aviles with some trouble. There's the touch, flag is up. And Mr. Wisen, the younger one that is, has a goal called back. He gets the shot across. blocked away that time by Camacho. The shot and another beautiful save by Mr. Gregerson. My goodness, what would it be of Eastmont if Gregerson wasn't on his game? Viramontes leaving one behind. Good ball that time. Reynaga into the box, shot across, and Mr. Gregerson has to act as his own sweeper. Shot across, and Mr. Logan Nelson takes care of it. Little by little, Eastmont making its presence known in the final third. There's Balauro, the shot, Balauro! And with a bit of trouble, Mr. Nelson controls in the second try, and I believe, no, everything copacetic. But that looked like a fair and square foul, if there's such a thing. There's the ball, Wyson, right-footed shot, Wyson! And the stop, once again, by Jeremy Gregerson, who has to buy lottery tickets tomorrow morning, first thing. Wenatchee territory, pivoting header that time by Cabrera and Balauro, the shot, Balauro, my goodness! Woo! What a shot by Nate Balauro, and the crossbar saves the Wenatchee Panther. Balauro, there's a shove from behind, and that will cost a yellow card. Number 8 with the yellow card for Wenatchee, that is Israel Rocha. And now the teammates have to cool off. Nate Balauro is Mr. Leon to the heart of the box. Big leap, half volley, the shot, the stop, and Mr. Nelson. Fuentes cannot connect, and Nelson with a beautiful save. Viramontes and Holland. Marked that time by Andrade, shot across, and it sails in front of the mouth of the goal. And there's the whistle that tells us that once again for the Eastmont Wildcats, it's time to work overtime. Quick run, Bravo into the box, shot across, the header, goal, 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 goal! Jose Camarillo wins it for the Wenatchee Panthers. 84 minutes, 48 seconds, and a beautiful combination between Marcos Bravo and Jose Camarillo. And the folks from across the bridge are partying like crazy.
By the way, you can see the whole game. It's already loaded up on our website, NCWLIFE.com. Other soccer action, that is, on Saturday. Cashmere bounced Brewster 6-2. Lakeside 9 Mile Falls topped Chelan 3-1. Wenatchee was able to do something in Big 9 baseball only one other team's been able to do to Moses Lake this season, hand the Chiefs a loss. TJ Shirting hit a 2-out, bottom of the 7th RBI single to score Dalton Thomas for the game winner in the first of a doubleheader. Panthers won at 8-7. Chiefs bounced back for the nightcap 7-3. It was a sweep-like Saturday across the rest of the Les Schwab Prep baseball scoreboard. Okanagan beat Cashmere in 2 games. Overlake swept Cascade, and Liberty Bell overwhelmed Waterville Mansfield. The Wenatchee girls softball team earned a split with Moses Lake on Friday. The Panthers won the opener 3-2. Moses Lake came back to win the second 11-1. Saturday, Okanagan swept Cashmere. Chelan split with Nooksack Valley, and Manson and Bridgeport split a pair of games. Meanwhile, it was a good weekend for the Waterville Lady Shockers. They head up to Winthrop and get a sweep of Liberty Bell 17-9 and 13-5. Good weekend for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder lacrosse team. They swept a couple of games from Hermiston and Stanwood. On Friday in Hermiston, Wenatchee put on an impressive offensive output, winning 21-7. Ben Higley and John Walker led the attack with 4 goals each, followed by 3 from Rhett Govea, Tristan Plock, and Jake Strom. Saturday, Wenatchee hosted a much tougher Stanwood club and came out on top 12-5. Higley and Plock again scoring 3 goals each. Jack Jorgensen collected his second consecutive win in net. Thunder travel to Richland Wednesday and then host Tijuana Friday. We'll have that one live here on the NCW Life channel. Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks 2-game winning streak came to a crashing halt Saturday in Reno. Skyhawks were hit by the express train in a 57-12 defeat. They'll have a couple of weeks to lick their wounds. They'll be at Reno again May 4th in American West Football Conference play. And the Mariners close to coming back all the way against the Angels and picking up a 4-game sweep. Didn't happen, though. 8-6 the final on Sunday, trailing 8-2 in the top of the ninth. Seattle got home runs from Tom Murphy, D. Gordon, Mitch Haniger, scored 4 runs, had the tying run at the plate before the final out recorded. 3 home runs gave Seattle 14 for the series. That's 56 home runs in 25 games, for goodness sakes. Seattle has the day off today. They'll take on the American League West lead over Houston as they head into San Diego for the first of 2 tomorrow. That's sports. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric.
And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.